Hey guys, welcome back to another Creative Shock video. It is Limelight here and I'm bringing you guys another deck tech guide. This time bringing you a Merlin deck with the new DTR cards. Now this has been seeing a lot of strength with this new Spectre package. I will go through the whole list and explain why each card is in here, but this is definitely a good deck to potentially pick up if you haven't already, and maybe with Quicksilver Cup and Ascent Boston coming up, this is something maybe you should practice a little bit and see if you like it or not. So first off, we start with Fragmented Spirit of Fire. So normally we would like to go Serene potentially. Like currently the whole Glimpse 6 is very strong. Because we're running the Spectre package, we want to be able to glimpse into our Riles and glimpse into our Spectres. So Fragmented and Serene are seeing a lot more play now. They were already seeing play, but they're seeing even more play now because you want to be able to set up that kind of combo. The good thing about Fragmented in Merlin though is that at level 2 you get the effect that you can rest, eat a Flowing Memory and put a level counter on Merlin. So she actually gets to get level 3 a turn early, which means that her Spirit Shard can be popped at level 2, which gives her kind of an advantage when it comes to being fragmented. Don't get me wrong, your Fantasia can be destroyed and stuff like that. That's kind of the downfall of it. But we're not currently, I feel like we're kind of moving away from the Fantasia meta. So I think we'll see less Scatter Essences and less, I can't remember the other card, but the card that destroys Fantasias. I think there'll be less around. Cool. So level 1 we're going into, we are going to be playing Lorraine level 1. We are also running the Looking Glass as our Divine Relic. So the thing about Looking Glass is if you read this, Divine Relic Omni Shroud, if this card is in your starting material deck, you may begin the game with it on the field. Ignore the elemental requirements of distortion cards you play. So this thing you guys have to watch out for, a little tidbit and a little kind of tip for everyone. If you are in a competitive game, a Store Champs, a Regionals, an Ascent, whatever, if your opponent starts the game and draws 7 cards before you bring this out of your material deck, they can call a judge and stop you from bringing it out. You have to bring this out at the start of the game. So you can get some players that can be a little bit rule sharky and a little bit hardcore. Please make sure you're bringing this out. Make sure you don't forget it, because it does say you may. They can stop you from bringing it out, and then you're going to have cards in your deck you can't play, or you have to materialize an extra turn. I know this is going to happen. People running Looking Glass, please, like top load it or do something, put it on top of your deck before in front of your Spirit so you don't forget it. Now, we are running Looking Glass because we wanted to run Sword of Shadows. So Sword of Shadows is a 0-cost Regalia weapon sword. You get +1, so it's a 2/2. And as long as the opponent controls an ally with stealth, it loses 1. So we want this because it is a 0-cost 2/2. It's very strong. One of Merlin's, I guess, weaknesses in the past was that she kind of gets pushed down with aggro and pushed down with allies, and she didn't really have a way to deal with it. With the Sword of Shadows, she's kind of able to, or Lorraine's able to at level 1, like level 1 Sword of Shadows, pay 2, Hasty Messenger, swing for 1 into Lurking Assailant, discard draw, and then swing the Sword of Shadows and kill the Lurking Assailant. So these things are changing, I guess, her weakness, like making her weakness a lot less weaker, which obviously makes her stronger as a deck fully around. Obviously going into Merlin level 2, she gets to rest and eat a Flowing Memory, or eat a card if it's a Flowing Memory, put a level counter on Merlin. Strength about this, she's able to eat Liminal Guides, she's able to eat Float. She's generally going to make the Ryle package feel slightly worse for your opponent. And then if you're, I guess, doing the same Ryle package that they are doing, then you are probably getting ahead with your Ryle package, as you can interrupt their Ryle package. And obviously we're on level 3. Every turn, Recollection Phase, you get a level counter. Every even amount of level counters, you get +2, and you draw an extra card, which is her kind of her end game, unstoppableness that people have to deal with. Cool. Going into Backup Charger. Backup Charger is like a must-have in most of these decks. You want to kind of get ahead on influence if you're going first. First, you need to remember this. People who are going first normally have a turn to take off, where people who are going second normally don't have a turn to take off when we're talking about 5 versus 5 decks. So first player can Backup Charger, so the second player can then try to catch up, but they're a card behind. Drawn Blade is great to bring out level 3, bring out level 1 if you're feeling a bit stuck. You know, you can Pendragon back at level 3, draw a card, then draw 2. Very, very strong. We've got Nullifying Lantern in here just because we are still scared of those aggro decks. Aggro was a main problem, so I feel like we still don't want to be Rending Flames at Merlin level 2, or, you know, whatever else. Blazing Bowman, all the Kindle stuff now as well. You're probably going to have a lot of stuff in your graveyard, so Intensified Pyre, all these Kindle cards, we need to kind of turn them off with Null Lantern. Same with Terrafring. Terrafring's here as well. Allies, aggro, we kind of need to live those first few turns. Once we hit level 3, we are quite safe. As Looking Glass, as I already spoke about, we have Sword Shadows. We have Prismatic Edge. It's our bread and butter in the end game. We have this and the Deer. Prismatic Edge, we are running water and fire, so we do get the draw effect from Prismatic, and we get the deal 3 damage effect from Prismatic. It is not our main end game. It is great, obviously, but we are able to kind of get the Deer out. The Deer is amazing too. There is a card for people who don't know. There is a 12 cost with efficiency. This card costs 1 less to activate for each Regalia weapon card in your banishment. Put a card named the Majestic Spirit from your material deck or banishment onto the field. So you get to bring out this 4/10 Intercept, True Sight, Vigor. Champions you control have Spell Shroud. And if another Crux element unit you would control would take damage, prevent half of that damage rounded up. A lot of people forget that this isn't just Merlin. I've seen so many Pendragons die with a Deer out, and I'm like, how is that Pendragon dying? It's taking half damage. It is a Crux element unit. So you just need to remember that all elements that are Crux units, it's not just your champion, is all other Crux units other than the Majestic Spirit. Cool. Going into main board, we have the classic 4 dungeon guides. Great to go to level 2 early when someone kind of disrespects you and puts a float in the bin. More often than not, if someone leaves a float there and you're level 1, DGing to 2 is beneficial, because being able to eat that float makes them slow down, but then also makes you speed up in your level up at level 3. Because after that, you go level 3 following turn, get a second counter, draw a card, then your DG only acts as the lost 1. 3 Fluffy Shopkeep. This is the new, I guess, like craze that everyone's loving. A lot of people putting this in their level 3 deck. Very, very good in this deck because you're able to banish Prismatic Edge and the Majestic Spirit. Majestic Spirit doesn't matter where it's from, you get to summon it no matter what. And Prismatic Edge, you're never bringing it out naturally. And then Fluffy Shopkeep not only is drawing you a card, but your Incarnate Majesty is going to be 1 cheaper because you've banished your Prismatic Edge. So not only is she already a 1/3 intercept that's drawing a card, she's now making your Majestic Spirit cost 1 less too, which is amazing, to be honest. And there can be a point where, you know, if you really need to, you can get rid of the Drawn Blade as well. So you have 2 cheaper, just depending on like the line up and like what your timing is with it and stuff. We'll jump straight into the Spectre package. So we've got 4 Liminal Guides, 4 Undying Dreams, 4 Rile the Abyss, and 4 Evercurrent Raider. I think this will be the most generic Spectre package. So we've got what? 4, 8, 12, 16. I think 16 to 18 is where you want to sit with the Spectre package. You can have 2 fleeting guards as well, but we didn't really have space for it in this one currently. The Glimpse will help anyway, kind of find what you need. Sometimes it can be a bit choppy where you find Evercurrent but no Rile. That's why we're running other cards like Crave Shock and Hasty Messenger. 4 Star Wall, so float to cremate. We cremate our liminals as a priority, but if not, we can cremate our Star Walls, so that's fine. 4 Crave Shocks. Please don't forget that at Merlin level 2 and 3, this is dealing 2 damage. A lot of people do forget that. You're able to break Spell Shields, you're able to break Crystallized Destinies, you're able to do a lot of things, kill allies at fast speed. Crave Shock is more than just a filter card in Merlin. It is a damage card. It is a 3 cost, draw 2, discard 1, deal 2. So please, when Merlin players start using this properly, it excels your gameplay a lot. Fireballs, skip one, sorry. 3 Cremation Rituals, I think 4 is too many. 3 is good. If you're desperate, do your Hasty early. Liminal's great, Star Walt's great. Doing a Liminal after it becomes Ephemeral is great because it's already drawing you cards, so it's drawing you even more cards, which is amazing. You've got your Fireballs, classic Fireballs, 3 Flame Rune Swordsmen. Now, people have kind of stopped putting Flame Rune in as much. With the Sword of Shadows, I do like Flame Rune Swordsmen as well because I do want to deal with Frostform Paladins. There is a lot of 3/4s that have come out with the Aquavire Seneschal. You've got the 0/4 Taunt Frog, you've got the Frostborn Paladin, you've got the, sorry, this is testing my brain, the Seal Starter Deck guy, Vigil Rampart, I think his name is, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I think that's right. So there's a lot of cards that now have 4 health where our Sword of Shadows and Hasty isn't going to be enough. Like that was the magic number, 3 was the magic number. You can deal 3 damage to an ally, you can fight the board, and as long as you can fight the board, you can get to your end game. So I've put Flame Runes in as well because I do need to fight the board. I do want to live early. End game, we have no worries about dealing damage. Like we can Fireball for 20 or 15, we can spam Pendragons, we can put Prismatic. Like the damage to the face of their face doesn't really matter. It's about keeping that board clear and keeping us safe. So having this Flame Rune in instead of, you know, a Fast Cure, I think is better for the board. Not to mention, a lot of people have been putting Fast Cures in their Rile decks. I think Fast Cure is a mistake in Rile decks. It's counterintuitive. You're never going to have low influence in these decks. You are drawing a lot of cards unless you're being interrupted. But if you're being interrupted, then you're probably not able to use Fast Cure anyway because they're using cards and going down influence as well. So I think Fast Cure is actually not currently good in the Spectre decks in the current meta. So people who put it in, like, give it a go, but I've currently noticed, I've been playing a lot of these new DTR decks, you're never able to get the Fast Cure off unless you're like double DGing up to 3. But at that point, then you're just going to draw into your Spectre package because you're not even using it properly anyway. Anyway, so Flame Rune Swordsman, I do like it. Hasty is a must-have. Hasty is very good now with all the liminal stuff. Being able to Hasty, discard a liminal, draw a card, into Dungeon Guide. Liminal comes back, gives you a refund on one of your Dungeon Guide banishes. Even if you have 2 Hasties, 2 Hasty swing into 2 liminal, Dungeon Guide, it's level up for free. 2 liminals come on the board, draw 2. It's bonkers, it's very strong. So we are running, we have to, at this point, I guess, and everyone needs to understand this, if you're running a Rile package, you can't expect not to be interacted with. It's either a race with a Rile deck, it's you versus another Rile deck and you're racing, or it's you in a Censor deck and you're being interrupted and being interacted with. Because of that, you have to run Censor Hate. If you don't run Censor Hate, then you're going to verse like a Wind Tristan or like a Wind Aggro Xander or even a Fire Aggro at this point that they're going to Ignis Deuce or whatever, smash out a Censor turn 1, turn 2, and then you can't level up efficiently. You're low on influence. They've got a board because you're too busy trying to like save yourself. It's just rough. You need to have a way to kind of use that float. Otherwise, these cards become a lot worse and your deck looks and becomes a lot worse. Because when you think about it, we have the classic, 4, 8, 11, 15. We're 15 float. And like these become useless once Sensor's out. So we're running 2 Reduce. We're also running 1 Verucan Acolyte. Verucan Acolyte's really good. It's able to break things with Spell Shroud. It's able to break items. It's able to break a lot of different things. I wish I could run more, but I didn't want to go over 60. We have the 4 Rile of the Abyss. This is the talk of the town card currently. You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to talk too much about it. You guys probably went and saw True Champion Gaming's video that was out today, which was a very good video with Ensol and Astrolabe Arasana. Look, the Spectre package is good. Rile is strong. Is it going to be around forever? Who knows? Are we going to enjoy it for now? Yes, that's how I feel about it currently. Cool. We're going into our Crux package. We obviously have these as well for Evercurrent Raiders. This is kind of what makes Merlin good because we used to run random water. This is now water that helps us with our Spectre package and its float. So this is very helpful. Another tip, you can't ephemerate anything that isn't your element. So people have been asking that a lot lately. You need to be able to activate it. If it's water in your fire, you cannot bring this out of the grave. Cool, with the keyword activate. All right, jumping into our Crux package. It's not too big. I've kind of tried to keep it kind of small. The Spectre package does take a lot of space, so it makes it a lot more, your deck a lot more linear. You can't put in as much toolboxy cards. You're kind of stuck, kind of putting the Spectre package in, putting in your generic finishes, and then you're kind of full. So we've got 2 Crux set. I feel like more than 2, you could go 3, but I don't think it's necessary. Like 2's fine. It's mainly going to be used to draw itself. So if you Crux site, pre-rec Crux site, draw a card, and then pay 2 Crux site, bringing back Crux site, drawing a card, you're +1ing. It's like a little mini +1, which is kind of cool. We learned that back in the day when Avarice got banned, how to keep plussing still. But if you're not using it for that, you will be using it to get your Pendragon and Incarnates back, and Ascensions, I guess. As I said, this deck isn't all about Ascension. If it was, you could run 4 Cruxites to like flicker, but if we were flickering, we'd want win cards as well. We want to like fully commit to the Prismatic package, and we're not currently fully committing to it. We kind of want to still Fireball, we want to still Pendragon, and we want to still Incarnate Majesty. So moving into 4 Ghost Pendragon, still a great card since set 1. Always been a great card. Never been under like $30 anywhere. This card is amazing. Very excited for the Ascent CSRs of this card. It's such a good card. We have 2 Incarnate Majesties. I feel like we don't need more than 2. Just like Prismatic, it's not like everything is riding on if you get this or not. Also, you can Crave Shock it early, Hasty Messenger early, and then Cruxite it back later. It's not the end of the world. That's another thing people don't realize is like you can discard these cards early. It's what Cruxite's for. Don't feel bad getting rid of like a Ghost of Pendragon if you have a Cruxite, or you feel like you've seen it in like a whatever. If you don't see it, so be it. Sometimes you have to get rid of Crux. It is what it is. You do have this 4 Spirit Blade Ascension. We get to run 4 because we do have the water card. So if we have a water and fire, we do get to +0. +0ing off your Prismatic Flicker is very strong. Dealing 3 every time, also very strong. General lines for this is very basic. Turn 1, you would pass. In their end step, you would Crave Shock or Rile, +2ing or +1ing. If you don't see those cards, you would turn 1, Star Walk Cremate, Hasty Cremate. If you're going second Liminal Cremate, you do want to make that kind of engine start moving, and you want to start getting like movement with your float or with your liminals. If they put float in the bin, punish them, slam a dungeon guard down from 1 to 2, eat the float, next turn go to 3, gain a level counter, draw a card, you're level 3. If you are versing a slower deck or you're versing a Rile deck, you're going first. Get out the backup charger early, turn 1. If you feel like if it's game 2 and you know what they are, they're not aggro, take that turn off, get out that backup charger. You could go to 61 in this deck and add turbocharge. I'm happy for people to do that. I just haven't done it currently. But yeah, this is a value deck, so you will outvalue most other Rile decks. But you know, as soon as I have a feeling that in the next few months, obviously an anti-Rile deck will rise up, and that will kind of screw all these decks. So we will be prepared for that. Looking at current sideboard, this sideboard has been built for current metas that I'm kind of preparing for, or think will be happening in the Quicksilver Cup and for Ascent, Boston, and Auckland. We have a Safeguard Amulet. We are still scared of Fractal Dowchans. They still are around. They can still Glimmering Refusal your stuff. They can still burst us under you for 1 million. So this comes in, Null Lantern goes out. A Null Spell, this card slept on. It's one of my favorite cards. I won a Store Champs because of it on my Djinn. When I ran a Null Spell in the Djinn, this negates Veiling Breeze. This negates Rile the Abyss. This negates Crave Shock. This negates Ensol. This negates Spirit Blade Ascension. This negates Fireball. This card is really underrated. One of my favorite cards. I stick it in most of my sideboards. It is a generic negate for every color. It's also a card that people don't expect from a fire deck. You don't expect to get negated by a fire deck. But you also, you know, if someone null spells you when you try to Rile, it kind of hurts the person because they obviously set up their turn to get rid of this and get the value. If you're stopping them from getting value, it's obviously amazing for you. So null spell is really good. Also could be Crystallized Destiny in this spot. I'm kind of floating on what I want to do. I do have Resolute, so I don't want to have both. So yeah, that's kind of just like a float spot a little bit. Lurid Dreaming. This is one that I kind of had to add recently. So there is some Nikos and some Water Seals for me that are running Snow White and the Frog, 0-4 Taunt Frog, Floating Memory, and Freezing Hails. It is very frustrating to get stuck. If you get Snow White and you get stuck and you can't kill her and they keep resting you, you are going to just die. There's also that Assassin card. What's his name? Sorry, it's like trivia when I try and think of card names from different sets. There's a card in Assassin that rests a champion and then everyone does +1 to arrest the champion. That card in Assassin, like a Water Xander, Ally Xander with like Snow White, is dangerous. Like it's really bad. Like you could just outright lose to, if they get a good draw and they rest you at Lorraine level 1 with a taunt on the field and they just start like smacking into you for 2 or 3 turns, you will just lose the game. So This card has to be in there to respect it. You need to, like, if they won't obviously expect you just to wake up and level up anyway. Like, that's why it's here. Obviously, it's also a +0, so it's not even that bad. It's like a borderline float in the way that it actually +0s itself anyway. So I feel like if Snow White could become a problem, and if it does, I am prepared for it, which is great. 3 Resolute Stands. We're not a fan of allies. We're not a fan of aggro. This kind of saves us. We also, we draw innately off level 3 Merlin, so sometimes it doesn't really matter if we can't draw in our next turn phase, as long as we're going to live and then Fireball, or if we're going to draw off Merlin, it's kind of okay. Not to mention we have our Pendragons, we have all that stuff that helps us draw as well. And then Persian Flames. So this is kind of what I wanted to also put in for Snow White and allies. So if we get to the point where we're just stuck for 2 turns, like let's say level 1, we get stuck as Snow White with Snow White, what we do is we just back up Charger and we just Persian Flames. We just pay 8 for it. It is what it is. It sucks. If they're holding a Frostbind, then that's rough. What can you do though? Like, it's a rough spot. This is also good for allies, and when you're Merlin, obviously Merlin level 3, you can wipe a board with it as well. I do prefer obviously hybrid Merlin and Flame Sweep. We can't fit it, and for the current scenario with like the water allies and Snow White, you won't be able to Flame Sweep anyway. They're gonna Song of Frost you, so there's no point committing to it when it's not actually going to change the outcome right now. There was a spicy card I wanted to try, and I'll share this with you guys. I do, if Snow White does become a thing, I do want to put this card in my deck. This card is very funny. It's something people aren't going to expect. It's a bad card, don't get me wrong. This is a horrible card. This is a very bad card. But if you bring this in from sideboard because they're Snow Whiting you every game, and you just bring it out and deal 1 to Snow White, like it's worth it, right? It's like, it's not the only other thing that would do it would be Endura, and you have to run Ryla for 1 for that, which is not worth it. So Explosive Rune, get behind it. If Snow White becomes a meta, we've already prepared for it. But yeah, like, that is pretty much where I'm at with Merlin. I do think that this is quite a strong deck. I feel like a lot of fire decks are going to be strong because of the Royal package. I do recommend you guys go back and try some of your older decks. Try your Jins, try your Fire Kongmings, try your Fire Arisanas. Just go chuck in this Royal package. Literally, like these 12, right? It's 12 or 16? 4, 8, 12, 16. Yeah, chuck these 16 Spectre cards into your old level 3 fire deck and message in the comments how you feel, because these decks, like, we're kind of back alive now, these level 3 decks, because they have, the problems with those level 3 decks were they were too slow, they couldn't like level up fast enough, they didn't have enough influence to do what they wanted, they had to rush up because of aggro, blah blah blah. We're now in a situation where Fire Jin might be good with Spectre package, Fire Kongming might be good with Spectre package, Fire Sylvie, like Terra Sylvie, not Slimes, might be good with Spectre package, and this is a good thing to have. I know a lot of people are kind of complaining about cards, but being able to go and try these level 3 decks, like Fire Neos Tony, like I can't wait to try that with like actual Neos cards, because you're gonna have influence. We're kind of unlocking so many decks that never had a chance in their meta, so very exciting times. I'm happy to be in this moment with Rile of the Abyss. Is it a strong card? Yes, obviously, but am I enjoying it? Yes. Should we take advantage of it and play some fun decks that we always wanted to play? Yes, we should. Alright guys, thank you so much. Message in the comments what other decks you want to see. Happy to do these when obviously I have time, and I'm happy to experiment and make some new stuff for you guys. So cool. Peace.